Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation by Reverend Kurt Kinning. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this opportunity that you have given to us to be in your presence and to ask for your guidance and for your hand upon us. Lord, we show great respect for the men and the women that you have placed in governing positions. And we ask, Lord, that you would grant them wisdom as they proceed with their business today. Lord, we pray that your hand would be upon our mayor, your hand would be upon Gloucester Township, that you would protect us, and that, Lord, we would continue to be a community that stands together for what is right in all things. We ask this in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen. And amen.
Thank you. This regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the scheduled meetings of the Township Council, established and adopted by the Township Council, which schedule designated the time, date, and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided and pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. We are using an electronic amplifying and recording device, and in order to obtain an audible and clear record, we request that all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address directly into the mic. The recording device is to be solely utilized by the Township Clerk's office for the preparation of the minutes and shall be the official record of the Township Council meetings. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Present.
Mr. Owens?
Present.
Mrs. Stubbs?
She's on medical leave.
Mrs. Winters? Here. Mr. Mignon?
Here.
Mrs. Strato?
Here.
Mr. Mercado?
He'll be here shortly.
Mr. Carlemere?
Here.
Mr. Cardis?
Here.
Mr. Lechner? Chief Earl?
Here.
Mr. Chavo?
Here.
We will now have a presentation for the 2018 National Night Out Community Relations Bureau.
Well, good evening, Council. Mayor, if you could join us, please, and thank you, Council Vice President Trotto. Good evening, everyone. We're here for some special celebrations tonight, some swearing in of some new officers, our Citizens Police Academy, and special recognition for our Children's Garden. Thank you so much, family and friends, for being here. Gloucester Township Police officers for joining us in this very special occasion for our 3 officers and the addition, certainly, of our Citizens Police Academy. Deputy Chief, as well, please. Officer Daniel Savati and his family, please come forward, please. Just a point of note for Officer Savati, you'll see that he's been with us about a year, and we postponed his swearing in, even though he's been working with us, because we wanted to make sure there was time for his father to be with us for this very special occasion who had a conflict. So if you see that little delay, that's why it's really important that his father was here. Officer Savati, you began your service to our country in 2012, where you enlisted in the U.S. Army National Guard. You have been deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom in Cuba and have earned numerous medals, including the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal and the National Defense Medal. You were hired by the Camden County Police Department in 2017 and then graduated from the Camden County Police Academy on December 21st, 2017. During your service with the Gloucester Township Police Department, you received a life-saving award for saving the life of a resident who had suffered a heart attack. You began your service with us on January 22nd, 2018. One of your supervisors just recently said, Lieutenant Jason Fretz, that you have a very good work ethic, volunteer for community events, and you are very reliable. Joining you here tonight with your father, Chuck, and possibly, I believe, out there as well, your brother, Ken, your sister-in-law, Courtney, and your nephew, Carson. Mayor, Council Vice President Trotter, it will be my honor to request that Officer Savati be sworn in as a Gloucester Township police officer. Officer Bülent Yakub, please come forward, and his family. Officer Yakub, you began your service to the Gloucester Township Police Department as an intern in 2012 while completing your bachelor's degree in law and justice. You then came to the Gloucester Township Police in 2013 while serving as a Class 1 Special Officer. You were then hired by the Camden County Police Department in 2015, serving there for 4 years as a police officer before returning to Gloucester Township Police on January 7, 2019. Your field training officer said, you maintain a calm demeanor while handling stressful situations, especially when you were involved in a high-speed vehicle pursuit with a burglary suspect. He further said that your positive attitude has allowed you to build relationships with both co-workers and the citizens of Gloucester Township. You are joined here tonight by your father, Fazula, your mother, Gulfer, your brother, Umit, who was a police officer with the Metropolitan Police in Washington, D.C., and your girlfriend, Nicole, a police officer with the Collingswood Police Department. Mayor, Council Vice President Trotter, it is my honor to request that Officer Yakub be sworn in as a Gloucester Township police officer. Officer Gallagher and his family, please come forward. Officer Gallagher, you began your career with the Gloucester Township Police Department as a Class 1 Special Officer in early 2018, and then were hired by the Camden County Police Department. You graduated from the Camden County Police Department in December of 2018. You left the Camden County Police Department to continue your service with the Gloucester Township Police Department on January 7, 2019. During your field training officer said, you pay great attention to detail and follow instructions well. He also said that you work great under pressure while always remaining calm and composed during critical incidents. You are joined here tonight by your mother, Cheryl, your father, Tim, your brother, Troy, and your girlfriend, Alexis. Mayor, Council Vice President Trotter, it is my honor to request that Officer Gallagher be sworn in as a Gloucester Township police officer. Mayor.
If you could please place your right hand on the Bible, your left hand on the Bible, and raise your right hand, please. And if you could please repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. I further solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all of my responsibilities as a police officer in the Township of Gloucester to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations to you.
So folks, another ceremony that we have, and officers that generally graduate with another police department from the police academy do not receive our coin, right? A symbol really of our faith. Officer Savati did receive us. He's been with us a year, as I kind of mentioned, but these officers have not. When we come to, oh, come on back up. Sorry. It's going to be presented to the mayor. So we do a ceremony after officers that are in the police academy for the Gloucester Township Police Department. We gather at a very small ceremony and we award them our coin. And this coin has a legend to it. And that legend is World War I, for those of you who are not familiar with what a challenge coin is. And this particular coin, just like this one, in World War I, a lieutenant of a U.S. squadron of fighter pilots had coins similar to this made, emblazoned with their logo, and awarded it to all of those fighter pilots. Then they went to battle, and one of those fighter pilots was shot down, and he was stripped of all of his belongings. He was captured by the enemy, and they stripped him of everything that he had. But he managed to keep this particular coin, not this one, of course, but a coin just like this. Then he escaped from the prison camp, and then was captured by Allied soldiers. But they thought he was an enemy, and they were about to kill him. But until he produced his coin, emblazoned with that logo, that ultimately saved his life. And that has resulted in the legend and the tradition of military organizations and police organizations awarding a logo emblazoned coin like this one. And it's inscripted with the words that we live by: courage, compassion, integrity, and respect. And that is what we expect of every Gloucester Township police officer. So we are proud to award these officers with their own coin, emblazoned not only with our words, but their specific badge number engraved, as a reminder of that live by those words of the community of Gloucester Township. And at that same time, we award them their mission statement as well. So congratulations. And we also award them our mission statement of the Gloucester Township Police Department, which I will not read for you tonight, but we encourage, when they graduate from the police academy, we say, we want you to go home and read that tonight, because that is your mission to the community of Gloucester Township. So I'm proud, certainly, to hand them their mission statement as well. Great. So another round of applause for them as well. For the Citizens Police Academy celebration, Captain Barton, Captain Manazzi, if you could come forward, please. I want to introduce Captain Barton, who's going to speak about our Citizens Police Academy and share in the certificate awarding as well, and Captain Manazzi also. Captain.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Graduates, when you come up, we're going to stand up here and we're going to form a straight line. On behalf of Chief Ariel and all the men and women of the Gloucester Township Police Department, congratulations on your graduation from the 2019 Citizens Police Academy. This year we almost had 30 graduates in our program. These 30 graduates gave up 10 to 11 weeks throughout the year, every Thursday, and came out on their own to learn about the Gloucester Township Police Department. Each Thursday, they had different classroom lessons. They had some live drills and things that they worked on. They got to see all the equipment we have, and they got a full understanding what the Gloucester Township Police Department is. So graduates, you are our best ambassadors. Pass on the message throughout Gloucester Township, how well we work together with the community and how the community members work with the police. So Chief, you ready to give out the certificates? First, Giovanni, I'm sorry. Come on up. Rosetta Liddon. David Doherty. Angelina Esposito. Vincent Contenuto. Conrad Enoch. Sam Enoch. Joanna Sarenson. Lynn Allen. Robin Spina. John Ott. Elaine Ott. Funny story about the Otts. I used to play baseball with their sons a whole 30 years ago, so I guess we're getting a little old now. Linda Gilch. Sean Broderick. Ariana Vargas. And Anjali Patel. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have a round of applause for our 2019 Citizen Police Academy? Anybody want to come up and get some pictures while it lines up? Out there.
For our next presentation, if Michelle Selfridge could please come forward. We also say Agent Michelle Selfridge. Michelle is going to assist in presenting about our Children's Garden. Michelle is a licensed clinical social worker, works for the Gloucester Township Police Department, doing some special work at our Family Resource Center, and I'm going to let her share with you the special work that she's doing with some kids. Michelle?
Thanks, sir. I would like to tell you just for a minute about the Gloucester Township Children's Garden. It is sponsored by the Gloucester Township Police Department and the Kiwanis Club of Gloucester Township Blackwood. I happen to be a part of both of those, which I'm very proud of. What I'm doing tonight is honoring 4 of my children, my young gardeners, for being a part of the garden since it began, which was 3 years ago. We're going into our 3rd year. The garden is actually behind the Family Resource Center in Blackwood. If you haven't been there, you really need to come. You need to come and check it out. It's a community garden for children, and they all have their own little plot. We've been through a lot of changes, but these 4 children have grown over the 3 years, and I need to appreciate and thank them for all they've done. So, would you guys please come up? Jane Pascal, Ava Wiley, Noah Wiley, and Phoenix Stocklin. Turn around, let everybody say hi to you. Turn around. There you go. That's Ava. It has been a great free opportunity for kids in Gloucester Township to come to the garden once a week. The Kiwanians in Gloucester Township and also the SROs and some other police officers help us out and come out and work with the children. And like I said, you're welcome to come. We meet on Wednesday nights, 4:30 to 6 o'clock.
So for this next award, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mayor about National Night Out. But for that, I'm going to surprise some of the officers in the back. Matter of fact, all the officers in the back. This award really is for the Gloucester Township Police Department. So if you could join us, come on up, please. It's everyone's work. It's every member of the Gloucester Township Police Department that makes National Night Out successful. Officer McLaughlin as well, of course. Officer McLaughlin is from the Community Relations Bureau, really working hand in hand in making that night a success. And I'll let the program speak about with the mayor. But Mayor.
Well, thank you, Chief. Good evening. Here in Gloucester Township, we place a big emphasis on community policing, and we've done that for many years. And I thank Chief Earl and all the men and women of the department for their commitment to community policing. National Night Out is one component part of that process. It's a time where neighbors get to come out in their neighborhoods, reacquaint with neighbors, because in today's digital age, we just spend a lot of time inside and not getting out and reacquainting ourselves with our neighbors. So National Night Out does that. But more importantly, what it does is it gets our police officers out into so many different neighborhoods. I think we're over 40 spots, officer, in Gloucester Township alone, where neighbors come out and get to know the police officers and interact with them. And that's so very important in any community. And we certainly take pride in that here in Gloucester Township. Now, what we are really proud of as well is the recognition that we received for last year's National Night Out. Gloucester Township placed first in the state of New Jersey for our National Night Out activities. And that, again, includes those 40 different events that we have in neighborhoods. And last year we did something a little different, where at the end of National Night Out, we had festivities here at Veterans Park, and we had fireworks. And again, that's bringing people out, bringing people together, and interacting with our police officers. So very, very important. Also, for our activities last year, Gloucester Township placed 7th in the entire nation. So that is a great acknowledgement of all the hard work that the officers put in for National Night Out, and we're very proud of that. But I did tell them I'm a little disappointed. We need to get to #1, but they do a great job. Officer McLaughlin, Captain Barton, the entire team really work all year round to organize National Night Out and to organize our captains. Our block captains out there in those neighborhoods. So it's not just, it happens like that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into a first place finish in New Jersey and a 7th place finish in the nation. So congratulations to all of you. Chief, thank you again for your leadership and all of our activities on National Night Out. Please come out. This year it's in August 6th, Tuesday, August 6th, right? So please participate. And if you want to host one or get your neighbors together, we'll be happy to help you do that. So again, congratulations, job well done. So I do appreciate everyone coming out here this evening. Let me first congratulate our new officers who were sworn in this evening. Congratulations. I think you are joining one of the finest police departments in the entire nation. And, you know, take advantage of the mentorship and the training from a very seasoned department. You're going to be learning from the very, very best. And I appreciate you choosing a career in law enforcement. And so congratulations on that. And I want to thank their families for the support that you give our officers. It's a very difficult job, and they need that family support, so I very much appreciate the families not only being here today, but supporting our officers. You know, the Children's Garden, what a great program that is, and I want to thank the Kiwanis Club for their contributions to Gloucester Township, and in particular for the Children's Garden. And Michelle does such a fantastic job in interacting with the young folks of our town and giving them an opportunity to garden and to learn about the environment, and that's very reassuring. So congratulations on that, and boys and girls, thanks for coming out and tonight and for your participation with the garden. To our Citizens Police Academy graduates, thank you. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule to learn what our police department does. And I hope you've learned, and I'm pretty sure you did, a lot of stuff that you never realized that we were doing. And I will tell you, we're doing things here in Gloucester Township that's really not being done in too many other places. And so you've learned that and you've seen that firsthand. Congratulations on that. But also, thank you for being partners with us. Going through this process and the academy, you're a partner with our Gloucester Township Police Department, and really, really appreciate that, and really appreciate the fact that you took time out of your busy schedules to learn more about our Gloucester Township Police Department. So congratulations on your graduation, and thank you again for your time commitment. So I think that's it, Chief, right? Are we good? So, Mr. President, you want to take a 2-minute? So if we'll take a little recess, but if I can have the graduates of Police Academy, Citizens Police Academy graduates up here, and the Children's Garden folks up here, we'll take some group pictures. Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
I want you to smile.
Oh, Brian? Yeah. Hey, Brian.
Smile. Michelle, smile.
Let's go to Wallace. Yeah, $15. A lot of watch out, watch out.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations. No more.
Michelle, we need you in it too. Yes, yes, yes. We need to go to Walmart now. Yes.
Michael also got a chance to go inside. Good boy. Every time I do. Thank you. Had a chance to David do that. Yeah, I went like this. You're like, what? Daddy loves you too. Loves you.
Well, you know what I say? So why he's in the place of that? Because that's a present from Lovey.
But there's no way about it. No, look, this is what.
They're wearing a hat. They're wearing a hat. Wait, you guys, wait. Wait, I want to get a picture. I want to get a picture. He's going to be a picture.
Get them started more than juvenile delinquent.
Well, no, it's not even for like right now. It's going on. Chance to turn it around. And your sister, Amy's such a big 10 years, 15 years from now that are in his spot. I just know he will, but we can't give up on him.
No, no.
It's not yet.
I've seen such a change.
No, Steve, I want to put my foot up his butt. You know, I'm the grandmother.
He's changed a lot in the last couple of years.
And my daughter.
Alrighty, a lot of different your purse, baby. Thank you so much.
And you turned out okay. Now why you ain't doing it to him? Now I gotta like, should I wear sandals? No, I'm like, you don't want the cowgirl boots I used to wear. Like, oh, you're in command, yeah.
So you go to family reunions?
Yeah, it's like 5 years. Yes.
I have, yeah. And I went to a couple of different classes that they have, which is awesome. But when it's going to the mother who works full time, who has a great job and everything else on her son that doing stuff. There's a time to go forward and learn your resources, and a time to step back. And I also went for the drug and alcohol addiction counseling. I think I went about 2 months. Okay, I have to turn this over to the Academy thing. That's my daughter, Katina.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nope, just the keys, and they already took my mace.
Looks like it.
So,
Yes. I did a general we'll see.
this company is going to.
Yeah,
This one
this
is
one
coming
around.
in.
We'll see. But anyway, besides all that, yeah, it was so Patty and I worked together at Field Dreams, special needs.
Michael's in charge of that.
With Patty's big time assistance. So yeah, so she is. We've been doing it for 3 years. So a couple of years we've been talking about family resource center. So 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, finally made it out. It was really neat to see the kids. Unfortunately, like I said, the weather it was a little different. But they were making little trees with cotton balls and.
Yeah, more like weeping willow trees.
Yeah, because they got painted and them things went like that. With little limbs.
This week, birds. So, we're going to do some fun feathers stuff.
Nice, but I do look forward to getting there in September, right? You said it's not too big. I want to see the final product of all the vegetables that
Yeah, I told him we had like spaghetti with the sauce. We make this, and Michelle
in
makes
my house we call
smoothies.
gravy. We're going to make tomatoes, we're going to have gravy. You make smoothies?
We could do a class on that, the distinction between tomato sauce and gravy.
See, the rule of thumb is that they call gravy, yes, with meat. But we throw meat in our red sauce, and that's why it's called gravy.
There we go.
I see it. Nice meat. Madam Clerk, may I have the roll call again, please?
Mr. Hutchison?
Present.
Mr. Owens?
Present.
Mrs. Winters? Here. Mr. Mignon?
Here.
Mrs. Strato? Here. Mr. Mercado?
Present.
Mr. Carlemere?
Here.
Mr. Cardis?
Here.
Mr. Lechner? Chief Earl? Mr. Chadwell?
Here. Minutes?
Executive session of May 6th. Regular meeting of May 13th and May 29th.
I entertain a motion to waive the reading except the minutes of. Thank you.
Second.
On the question? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes to the executive session and the May 13th regular meeting. I'll abstain on the May 29th meeting.
Mr. Owens?
Yes to everything.
Mrs. Winters?
Yes.
Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next, we'll have our public portion. This is for agenda items only. Anyone wishing to address council, please raise your hand. Yes, sir.
Members of the council, thank you for hearing me. My name is Ray Henry. I live at 815 Camden Avenue. I moved here about 4 years ago when I retired from the military. And since then, my house was, I believe, the last house that Kajeski built. And I brought it up to the mayor, and I've been working closely with the mayor until last week. There's a huge snake population in my yard, and one of my dogs was injured. And I had spoken to Kevin on Thursday from Public Works, and he kind of gave me an ultimatum, like, oh, well, I'm not going to allocate taxpayers' money to fix this. It's either this or the street. I was talking to the mayor. I told the mayor what happened. I just wanted to let you all aware of the situation. I mean, I understand that the mayor's one person, and he's doing a great job thus far. But I just wanted to let everybody aware of the irritation that it's causing me, because if I wanted to stay in a cesspool, I would have just stayed in the military and kept deploying to Iraq or Afghanistan. But it's becoming a concern of safety, not just for me, but for my family, because we can't go out back, we can't enjoy our backyard. There's green water. When it rains, frogs attached to the house. We got groundhogs coming in. It's becoming an issue for me. I mean, I don't know where else to go. I know the mayor's been working diligently on it, and I really do thank you. But I'm kind of at my wit's end, especially with the way and the approach that Kevin came about it, as it's either this or that, and just nonchalantly, oh, well, this is how you take care of snakes. You cut their heads off. So, I mean, I'm up to 28 to 32 snakes in the last 5 days. So, but I just wanted to address you guys and let you know that this is what it's coming to.
So, Mr. President, I did send out the drainage engineer last week. So he was out there. He's going to do some tests on that, get a report back to us as to what is wrong with the basin, and then we can go from there.
Okay. So if you can keep me updated along with Mr. Cardis and Public Works, I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right,
Thank you.
Anyone else for agenda items only? It's on you. Yes, sir. Can you come up here and provide your address and your contact number? With that, we'll close the first public portion. Mr. Sweet.
Evening, Council.
Good evening.
Sam Sweet from Ariel. What happened on the floor? Okay. Anyway, the bond that you're passing for $34 million, that's the last 6 years of bond anticipatory notes?
Mr. Cardis.
8 ordinances, so it's covering 8
8 separate ordinances.
But it's,
From 2015 through 2019. I'm sorry, 2014 through 2019.
so the last 5 years.
Yes.
And if I'm correct on learning from you, these bond ordinance or the bond anticipatory notes that were passed, each individual meeting, were interest only, 1 point below 2%, and they allow you to do that for 3 years, and
There
then,
may have been one principal payment, but yes, for the most part, it's just interest.
okay, and now we're wrapping all them up into a bond because the ones from 14 and 15 are over 5 years, so we're wrapping them up into a bond, but we're including the 16, 17, and 18 ones, and 19?
Correct, we're wrapping, everything that is outstanding in the form of notes is being wrapped up into a general obligation bond.
Okay, and do we know what that bond rate's going to be?
Yes, the Standard & Poor already rated us at A+, which is the same rating that we've had.
Okay, what's the interest rate, though?
We do not know that, the sale takes place on Wednesday.
Okay, will it be more than, I guess my question, where I'm going with this is, could we have paid interest only on 18 and 19, as opposed to wrapping them all up into a bond that may
No.
increase our interest rate?
I would never recommend that because you're going to pay the professionals quite a bit of money to perform the bond sale itself. So to take your approach would mean that those professionals would be paid for those notes that you're going to wrap up in the bond sale now, and to save that what I call nominal amount of interest is not worth the additional fees that you would pay on a separate general obligation bond issuance.
What is the fees of a general obligation bond interest ballpark?
Ballpark, I would say somewhere around 80,000, 90,000.
Does that like work out to a percentage, or is that per just flat fee? Like the larger the bond?
I'm not sure exactly how it's calculated. It's the rating agency, it's the underwriters, it's the auditors, it's bond counsel, it's the financial consultant, a lot of the professionals that were appointed and are appointed every year and advertised.
Okay. The bonds from 14, or the bond anticipatory notes from 14 and 15 and 16, it doesn't appear that we paid much down in principal, that we're only doing interest only?
No, I believe after 3 years you have to make some principal.
Some principal payments.
I wouldn't be able to tell you how much was paid on principal on those notes. I don't have that information in front of me.
Okay, no, it just doesn't appear that we paid much down from the, from here, because the, what was being borrowed doesn't look like we're paying it down. I'm just kind of concerned that now, like in 14 and 15, and again, I know we can, put on the bond anticipatory notes the printers and the smaller items, but now we're, like this digital camera from 14, that was $400, that now we're still paying off in the bond, and it's going to be 15 years.
Sam, we've had this discussion.
We have.
I've asked you to look at New Jersey statutes annotated, 40A, local bond law. Take a look at the schedule, the amortization schedule. Look at it. And you're in accounting. You understand. Look at it. It will spell out for you what each item can be financed for the period of time. The issue is that you're hung up on 5 years. You don't agree that certain things should be 5 years, but the state of New Jersey is saying that they are 5 years, which includes items like that and other items that you've brought up at previous council meetings.
I'm not arguing.
Bond council would not be able to certify and approve this list and sell this before the local finance board if it did not meet all the criteria of the laws of the state of New Jersey and local bond law.
I'm not saying it doesn't meet the local criteria. That's not my I guess my argument. My argument is, it's a $400 digital camera that we're, okay, and I could go on and on about the smaller items, okay, that we're paying off for 15 years. To me, we're almost doubling the cost of those items. So my question again is, why aren't we paying off those smaller items or putting them into the budget? Because to me, a $400 digital camera paid over 15 years is not good, no matter how you spin it, whether it's legal or not. And I'm not saying it's not legal, because it is, and I have looked at the bond law, but I don't think that those...
Somebody at the state of New Jersey then, because...
But just because we can do something doesn't mean that we should.
We are following what we've done in the past and what other municipalities do and what the state of New Jersey does itself.
Again, you're hung up, where I'm hung up on it.
Useful life is spelled out in NJSA 48. Just go to it and read it. Look
Again,
at the
you're hung up on saying that you're being legal. I'm not saying that it's not legal. I'm saying it's not practical.
I think you're just picking items through the list, and it's easy to do when you go through the list. And I provide you that list to pick through.
And a lot of those items are smaller items that really shouldn't be on there.
And I disagree with you.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree, and it's going to continue on, because to me, do you think paying off a $400 item over 15 years is fiscally responsible?
I would not put anything in here that violates the state statute, and local finance board would not approve anything that doesn't meet the requirements, and neither would Parker McKay, our bond counsel.
Okay. Again, let me just be clear. I'm not saying that you are doing anything illegal or not adhering to the state statutes. I'm just saying from a practicality standpoint that these items should not be on there. Just because they can be doesn't mean they should be.
I respect your opinion.
Mr. Sweet, your time's up.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? That will close the first public portion. Resolutions 154 and 155 pertain to the 2019 budget. The budget, we had a budget hearing on May 29th, and at that time, the state had not approved moving forward with our budget. They are still reviewing it. At that time, today, as of today, they are still reviewing it. The Division of Local Finance has not provided the go-ahead for us to move forward to adopt the 2019 budget. So resolutions 154 and 155 will remain on our agenda. With that, I entertain a motion to accept the consent agendas, resolutions 156 through 188. If any council member would like to move any of those items, please speak up. Hearing none, I entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Hutchinson.
No, second.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. On the question? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
I have to abstain on resolution R 1906-156. Payment of the bills for item number 19-02827. Everything else, yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignone?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato? Yes. Mr. Marcano?
I am pleased that we are authorizing an execution delivery of the agreement between the Township of Gloucester and the FOP Lodge 206 with our patrol officers. I'm very happy that that has come to a conclusion with this vote tonight. So, yes to all. Next is our regular agenda, resolutions 1906-189, resolution Township Council, Township of Gloucester, Camden, New Jersey, authorizing the issuance and sale of up to $34,011,000 of general obligation bonds, series 2019 of the Township of Gloucester. I won't read the rest. We can do that for ordinance. I entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
No, second.
Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignone?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Marcano?
Yes, we did not receive any Gloucester Township eGov access emails. We'll now open up the second public portion. This is for any items. Anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand. Mr. Polidoro.
Good evening, Council. Ray Polidoro from the Historic Village of Area.
Did you and Sam get together before tonight?
I think I did get the memo somehow. I want to congratulate Gloucester Township on another successful and eventful Gloucester Township Day. It was a nice event. We had really beautiful weather, not even a breeze to blow our papers all over the place, so that was nice. Without getting into details on the budget, I remember when the township had prepared fiscal year budgets, and it seemed to go on and on and on and on. For a standard calendar year budget that we're already in, well into 6 months into the year 2019, and we're preparing to pass a 2019 budget, what would the township say, what would the governing body say a reasonable time would be to have a budget complete and implemented for the year in existence that we're in right now for the 2019? We're 6 months into this year, and our legislative branch of our local government has not passed the budget. What would you find? Would you find that to be reasonable? Do you find that to be a little bit late? And how comfortable are you with this?
I believe it's a little bit late, but once again, this has to receive, it has to be reviewed by the local finance board, state, and we have to be provided the go-ahead to adopt it. So we adopted it, we presented it, we had a public hearing, adhered to their guidelines and the dates that they set forth, and now we're waiting upon them. Tom, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I anticipate we'll be in a position to adopt the 24th.
In a perfect world, what would you say would be the time? See, the state is waiting for you to prepare that budget, and then when we present that budget to the state, they'll give you the thumbs up or thumbs down. We move forward and we adopt the budget. So if the township doesn't move in a timely fashion, the state doesn't have that to act on. What would the township, what would you guys be comfortable with as a time frame for presenting a budget that would be introduced to the state for their approval in a calendar year? When would you like to have had this done in a perfect world? And I'm not overlooking at all the amount of hours and time and hard work that it takes going into that. I'm very practical with when would you say a good time to present that budget would be?
I don't really, I'll be honest, I don't get the question because we submitted the budget within the time frame that the state had established. I spoke with Tina Zapici, who is in charge of the Division of Local Government Services, about our schedule. I spoke with her about the introduction, so she was in agreement with our schedule based on that. They just assigned a budget examiner last week, and I know they're going back and forth with a few questions, but we could not get authorization to adopt tonight. I don't find it unusual. I've seen other municipalities in the same situation. I've seen Gloucester Township in a similar situation where they weren't able to adopt for several months into the fiscal year, into the calendar year of the fiscal year. So that is why you do a temporary budget.
I know when I generally...
Can I just add that? If you could recall, I believe it was the last year, Tom, help me if I'm correct, the last year of Mayor Ralph Hatton's term, where we were on a fiscal year budget calendar, and so that goes July, fiscal year, and she submitted a budget to council, but I was on council at the time, and that budget was not approved until after she left office and the new mayor came in. We go back and forth, and I always remind you that that budget was introduced by the mayor prior to the current mayor. But that was in her last year. Am I correct, Mr. Cars?
It took several months to get that budget approved.
So that was approved in the early part of 2010 when it was introduced in the fall.
That is my recollection.
Okay.
So you're looking at, that was approved most likely in February of that year. So you're looking at 8 months into that fiscal year. That's when the budget was approved. So sometimes these things, they take longer. Normally there's a set schedule where it's introduced in March, ratified 30 days later, and then we have a budget that's approved at the end of April.
Okay, and my memory is pretty good of that also because this governing body had chosen to move the elections to November, and the previous mayor's term was shortened by 6 months. And that also had to do with the conversation going on back and forth with council. That does not change the fiscal to calendar year, because as that transition was made to the new administration, we had the liberty and the I guess the great aid of the state. We got a $5 million assistance by the state to transition in a 6-month budget to go to a calendar budget, and got an additional $5 million. So I've got a pretty good recollection of that as well. Generally, when I bring up other areas, and I don't always have time when I get home from work to do all the research that I can before coming here. And Mr. Carter, you're always asking me to give me an example, cite an example. I just picked a couple of towns about state, looking at the towns that do calendar budgets. Union City, Montclair, Voorhees, most of these towns that are on a calendar year budgets generally have their budgets wrapped up at the latest in April. It just, and again, I'm aware that it happened in the past in many administrations, but it just seems that we're halfway through the year, we're still working on a budget. I'm not an accountant, and I don't play one on TV. It's just from the numbers game, it's hard to see that we're passing a budget that we're halfway through. And my last statement would be, or maybe more of a question. Mr. Carter, you and I go back and forth on this. I just wish there was a different terminology that you could use, because you have no idea what it sounds like when our local government that needs to keep taxes in line raises them, keeps them even, raises them, keeps them even, and you're seeking the advice and the guidance of the state of New Jersey. I just think that's a poor choice. I think the state of New Jersey has really, really poor judgment, and for us to follow that, I think that the township could do its own thing without the guidance or travel down the path that the state has. And Mr. Carter, I'm going to pay a compliment. I think you could do a better job if you were winging it without the guidance of the township than using the state, than using the state of New Jersey for anything. I just think they're a disgrace. And I think you would take us down a better path than they would.
They set the law and we follow the law.
I've been saying this forever. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Use your own path. I think you'd have a wiser choice than the state has taken us on. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Sweet?
Sam Sweet from Ariel. You said the bond was being sold on Wednesday? Do you mind emailing me what the interest rate is when we find out?
When we get it, I can, yes.
Will we know it Wednesday, or will it be like a week from?
No, we'll know Wednesday.
Okay, thanks. With regards to the policeman's contract, which is a good thing, it says 2017, 18, and 19. Does that mean we're going to have to negotiate another contract come 20?
Yes, with all of our bargaining units, all of our employees.
Okay.
They all sunset at the same time.
They all expire at the same time? All right, and then, and I really don't know the answer to this question. With the budget being so late, and I don't have a problem with that, is it possible if you budgeted something and say, I'm going to make it up, you budgeted something for $500,000, and now it turns out that you're not going to need it, and it's only going to be $300,000. Can you adjust the budget, or is being so late since the state hasn't approved it, is that possible? Is that even a...
Amendments can be made. We already had our public hearing, but there are certain amendments or adjustments that the state would have to approve.
You're correct. And the state may come back and suggest that on the 24th, we not only adopt the budget, but prior to, that we amend the budget. I don't know that. We're waiting to find out.
And I guess, is this normal for the state to take this long to review the budget?
It's not abnormal.
Okay. So basically, you can make amendments to the budget if something went up, something went down. Can you make, now you said the state comes to you and says, we want an amended budget. What if the state doesn't come to you and you notice it yourself?
We can also amend.
You can amend it, and then you'd have to, would that be a separate public hearing, or would that just be like an addendum item?
There are, I believe, 3 different criteria that are established under NJSA 40A, and it describes when you need a public hearing for an amendment and when you don't. One of them is when an appropriation changes by more than 20%. The other deals with the overall levy, and if the levy changes by more, I'm off the top of my head here, Dave.
I wouldn't try to look at it, but I'm
Yeah.
looking at the statute. The state, that regulates when you have to have a public hearing, when there's a certain percentage hit on line items, expenditures, revenues, or rate.
So it's conceivable that we may have to have a hearing, and it's conceivable that we may not have to have a hearing.
Okay. And my last thing is for Mr. Carlimer. I'm going to ask again, you were supposed to look up whether or not marijuana facility could be within 5 miles of a school, whether that was just a Barrington thing or whether that was statewide.
Nothing that I saw that regulates the location within areas. Nothing in that legislation that I saw.
Okay. All right. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Polling of directors.
Mr. Barlamere?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Curtis?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Lechner?
I have nothing to report.
Chief Earl?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Mr. Chadwell?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Hutchison?
Thank you very much for coming this evening. To listen to your point, I do not like snakes. So, I mean, snakes and spiders freak me out. Congratulations to the award recipients, and I'm glad that we resolved the conflict.
Mr. Owens?
Thanks for coming out. Congratulations to the Kiwanis Children's Garden, swearing in of the new police officers and the 2019 Citizens Police Academy graduation. Chief, congrats on National Night Out in 2018 for the first place in New Jersey and 7th in the nation. Thanks to your officers and all the first responders during Gloucester Township Day, keeping everything nice under control, no issues. Also, just through the, anyone ever reads the summer report, last year, 2018, the Gloucester Township Police Department received just about $190,000 in grants from body armor replacement fund, driving while intoxicated, C-bump highway grants, Division of Alcohol Beverage Control, Safe and Secure grants, numerous others. I know sometimes we get folks making comments about receiving grants that if we get something, it's not free money. While it's true, it's actually going towards the betterment of our community. So congrats on all of those grants. And I have one more item, Orlando. Wherever I put it.
I love when you read to us, Mr. Owens.
Don't you love it? Oh, here it is. So with all the talk about the budget, a lot of residents don't think we're providing services to the community. Just a quick glance through the rec center and some summer programs. The tax dollars that our residents are paying are going towards our rec programs for the summer, towards discounted pool memberships, for the preschool. All the summer camps are subsidized through those tax dollars. An example of that, for a 6-week summer camp, $200 total. Try any other private camp out there, you'll be in the thousands of dollars. Additionally, there's a volunteer program for 8th graders and high school students. During summer camp, if they do a good job, they can then be moved into paid positions. And we employ about 150 Gloucester Township residents for our summer camp. So again, I think we're doing a great job, Mr. President, with the services we are providing for our residents. Not many people utilize them, unfortunately. And lastly, Smallfoot, the movie is on June 14th. Again, love attending those movies. The park is completely packed with families enjoying the services we're providing. So thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Sorry.
Congratulations to the police officers that were sworn in tonight. Congratulations to our Citizens Police Academy graduates. Also, congratulations to Kiwanis children from the Family Resource Center. This Wednesday, as she was sitting in the back, Patty Price had invited me to go there and check out what the children do. And one Wednesday a month starting in May to September, they plant some vegetation, and it's the children's duties and responsibilities to keep up with it. So it was pretty neat to see that. And I told them I look forward to going back in September to eat with the rewards that they have started. Also, congratulations on a National Night Out, another successful evening for our GTPD. This Saturday will be the last game for the Gloucester Township Field of Dreams for the 2019 season. We have special buddies coming out that Saturday. It'll be the GTPD. So if you can get a chance to get there, I recommend it. It's been a great season so far, and everybody be safe going home. Thank you.
Mrs. Estrada?
Thank you to the Police Department, Public Works, for their help this weekend in our Relay for Life event that happened on Saturday. We appreciate everything that you guys are able to assist us with, and we appreciate the community for coming out and supporting the American Cancer Society for Camden County. And I wanted to congratulate Joanne and the Historical Society. Saturday you hosted the Camden County Historical History Fair. So I had a chance to go and be I guess a part of it, and I had the opportunity to talk to an appraiser. I know, Joanne, you did Ancestry, but I didn't even get a chance to see you. But it was really a very interesting day to get to talk to different vendors about what the historical impact that Camden County brings to New Jersey. It just, to me, history is fascinating, and to be a part of that day and to see the people from all around. It was really, I really enjoyed myself, and as my husband says, I asked too many questions. He's like, move along, please. But congratulations to you guys. I know you worked hard to put this together, and it definitely paid off, and it looked like it was very successful and a beautiful, beautiful day. So, thank you.
Mr. Mercado?
I want to congratulate all our honorees this evening. Also congratulate our 3 middle schools and 3 high schools will be having graduations Friday and Monday of next week. So wish all our graduates the best, and I want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day for this Sunday. Is it Father's Day this Sunday? Am I off? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I'm just looking at the date. All right. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a great evening, everyone.
I forgot all about that. Get everything else.
Hey.